Hey guys, what's up? This is ScherBR and welcome back to my channel. This time we have some different things here. Now we can drop all the different weapon types in a single episode. This has never happened before, so all stages here can be used for farming something. It may not be the best stage for farming status, but I will be talking about how you can farm fast and safely any of the different stages. As you can see, the first one you can get two different weapons. You can get a club and an axe. So people that failed to get the special weapons from events that were clubs and also axes can now farm here. The only stage that has a duplicate drop is 15.1.2, where you can get the sword, and the same on 15.1.5. But because all stages can be worth farming, and depending on your squads, I'll be talking about strategies on all of them. Okay, so the first one should be this one. I am using the Rainbow Rangers formation, since this one increases a lot of the damage. Blue is using Heat Wave instead of just using SaGa or anything else. I'm inheriting from his S style. Storm Burst is increased, so he did not start with this. And then I have Barthélemy. He's not using Abaddon Hand, so I increased the VP. He only uses Heat Wind. Fuse can start with Proton Rocket or just Submachine Gun. And ScherBR is using Brush Stroke and Ice Lance Fully Awakened. This is the strategy here. Rainbow Rangers formation, they are on this specific slots. I can bring one trainee here. You can already see that Beer is on the back. Heat Wave is cheaper to use, so it's a good strategy. Also, not using Abaddon Hands helps by having Heat Wind all the time. It's good. And why is ScherBR here? Because he has a row attack. Any character that has a row attack will help you deal with the second wave, especially if your ScherBR is faster than Blue or Barthélemy. And for the last wave, we have enemies weak against Blunt, Heat, and Sun. So all of them work, save for ScherBR, but ScherBR still kills the middle one. Now it's time for Fuse to deal the last attack. Yeah, and it's done. Second stage, we have Path to Lance number 2. The enemies are weak against Slash mostly, and there's a different strategy this time. I am using the Dragoon Strike formation. And, well, you can bring one trainee if it's a mage, and one trainee if it's for slash damage. Well, Dragoon Strike formation increases the damage of the middle lines more than the front lines, so use your strongest ones in the middle lines. Gustav is here for training. Well, he doesn't have anything awakened exactly. Katarina has Glacial Sword, double crush and downswing. You can just increase downswing to 10 so that she never uses it. Ellen is only using Heavy Cut here, you know. I increased the Mega Hawk and Wild Flurry. And Princess White Rose, just normal setup with fully awakened Chocolate Ball Ray of Hope. This should work. And well, the problem here is that you cannot use area attacks too much. The enemies are very separated. And they have very high speed as well. By using slash damage, you also be decreasing slash damage against you. Usually a character that uses slash damage is also resistant against it. Also bring Braces, because it increases the resistance against slash. Sadly, this time Gen had to use his attack on the first wave. If he gets to use on the second wave, he kills the Chimera by himself. And the last wave is simply because there's only two enemies. This enemy is weak against Slash and the Moon, and the other one is weak against any type of magical attack. Another good mages to bring here are Blue, because of his combination of Slash and Magic, and the new Princess White Rose. Okay, next stage is good because it's being allowed us to farm some martial arts weapon. This one is better than the ones we have in the past. And this time, we will be bringing blunt and cold damage. I am bringing a full squad based on the best blunt and cold damage dealers I can, since I want to farm this fast. Also, the second weapon is not good because there's no Earth Mage in the game so far. I'm still using the Rainbow Rangers formation, and here I have the martial artists dividing between STR and SG plus slots, fused in the Dex plus. My teacher Yundin is an Intellige plus. Cat is getting stomp increased, so she only uses submission. Fuse has Proton Rocket increases, so he starts with submachine gun. Punishing Palm is increased, so my Azami only uses submission. And Yundin has Squall inherited, so that she always attacks with AoEs. Let's see if it works. For this stage, I don't recommend you bringing weak units. I want to farm this as fast as possible. I still have a lot to train for my martial artists, but they are still a little strong. The enemies here are insects, so they are weak against blunt and cold most of the time. And these ones are weak against cold and lightning. Fuse is good. He always confuses the enemies. Jagged Ice. In the last wave, it's a row of enemies. If you have some row attacks, but like ScherBR also works here, actually. You can bring him on the STR plus formation. Yeah. But this also works pretty fine, very fast. I bring ScherBR to other stages, so I can bring my martial artists a little here. Well, the next stage is 15.1.4, and on this time, I will be using Mage. I am using Rapid String formation so that anyone that attacks will just help. I can bring one character for training, like I'm bringing Georg here. I have my normal Princess White Rose, can beat anyone as well, just fine. Kongbing has Wildfire inherited, and the other one's not fully awakened besides Light Ball. Barthélemy is using Hat Wind instead of Abaddon Hands, so increase the BP. And Blue is bringing Heat Wave instead of Saber Ray or Storm Burst, so he always uses a Heat Wave 2 times in Light Ball later. Okay, so let's see if it works. Some of the enemies here are very fast, that's why I made the decision to use Rapid String. The Vampire Lady on the middle, she can use Hypnotize and she's pretty fast. You see, she attacked me before Princess White Rose. But Princess White Rose is super slow, at least this version. The other one is faster. But the other one has a problem with AoE. On the third turn, she barely attacks because of BP cost. Second wave, you can already see again, she attacked me before my characters. So you have to use second turn here. If she do not make anyone sleep, you always win with a single turn. Last wave, the enemies are weak against Sun, and some of them also Fierce, but Sun is the best decision here. If Barthélemy save BP, he can even use Abaddon Hands in the end. But if Blue do not attack, what he does, just that. Storm Burst. But we still won. Next stage, 15.1.5, and I'm bringing Cold and Heat on the stage here. It's Tiger Shark, so I have ScherBR in the front lines and then Barthélemy and Stun Yundin in the back. In the middle, I'm bringing the characters that I want to train. Barthélemy not using Abaddon Hands again. And Yundin just normal. She will just start with Thunderclap and then use Bubble Pop. Well, let's see if it works. So for this time, we are facing enemies that are weak against magical attacks. And then the other one in the back is weak against blunt and cold. So it's good to use Stun Yundin since she stuns the enemies on the first attack. The second wave we cannot clear with a single turn. There's a lot of HP on this enemy here. You can also bring some insta-kill. It can be, well, Summer, Selma, Claudia, or Ray. But I'm not bringing here. But I need 2 turns to kill this enemy. The good thing is that stun units and finishes the enemy. Maybe we'll have Barthélemy using Abaddon Hands on the last. No, still not. Depends on if he gets BP when he attacks. Yeah. This worked pretty fine. But I still may need a second turret. Problem is this enemy has a lot of agility and he may attack before you. In the end, he may try to push things, but I sincerely doubt that you will lose here. Yes. Next stage is 15.2.1, and the enemies here are weak against Slash. They are very fast, so they may attack before you. I wanted to use Speculation, but the damage didn't fit, so I'm using Dragoon Strike. It works for damage. Bring your best damage dealers in the middle lines. I am bringing Acelus and Alan. Well, you can bring a very strong character to kill the first enemy, it's a dragon, and then you have enough BP for the second wave. Like, Alan can just use the third attack, Wild Flurry, but I'm bringing a different formation here. I have Heavy Cut on 5 BP, she's inheriting Heavy Slash from her backpack style. Mega Hawk and Wild Flurry are beyond 10 BP, so she will never use it. That is because Heavy Slash is good for the second and third wave. And Acelus is bringing Heaven on Earth as inheritance, and then Mirage tap 2 times. And if you compare, Jen is fully awakened. And Junior has Mirage Blade and Supernova on 9, so he always uses Supernova. Okay, let's try. Like I said, the first enemy is a dragon. If you are bringing Global Exclusive Katarina or other attacker with very high damage, you may kill with easy. Jen is faster, he will probably kill this dragon before the other characters attack, but mine is still training. The second wave, it's harder since there is an enemy that attacks very fast and tries to stun or do some nasty stuff. Yeah, he even avoided one attack. Yeah, and because of that, he's still not dead on this turn. In the last wave, we have the flying enemies in the back, but the problem here is just that they can confuse you. Not just confuse, but also they have a very strange formation here. It's not easy to attack them. And Loot got confused, and let's hope that he did not kill this squad. Yeah, everything works fine in the end. Next stage is 15.2.2, and the stage here the enemies are weak against Slash and Moon. So I'm bringing Moon mages because it's easier to use AoE attack with them. We don't have many AoE sheep attacks for Slash damage dealers, so I have the Rainbow Rangers formation with Acelus in the front. And the 3 mages here, Judy is getting agility and Rouge is getting intelligence. And now about inheritance, Acelus is better inheriting Heaven on Earth and increasing Heaven on Earth to, 8, so that she overwrites Whirlwind, and we get Rosario Impale to more than 10. I will explain this on battle. Princess Ray has Green Reaper and Raven fully awakened. She starts with Green Reaper and then she uses Raven. Judy has Psycho Noise and Dark Sizzle fully awakened. Dark Flare is on 15 because I don't want her to use it. And Rouge has Energy Storm fully awakened with Dark Sizzle. And I increased Raging Gust to 13 so he never uses as well. So this should work, let's see. Well, these 2 enemies have very high HP, agility, and... Well, at least Judy started with Psycho Noise. She gets more agility. She also decreases the wheel, so we do more damage with Ray and Rouge. Also, Ray is here to kill one target, just like Acelus. Now on the second wave, we have weaker enemies. We just want AoE here. Yeah, they are dead. Way weaker than the first wave. Last wave, we have enemies weak against Moon and any type of magical damage in the back. That's why we are bringing more Moon instead of Slash. And only one more attack. The problem with the Rainbow Rangers formation is this here. But he's dead. You can bring one trainee here with Chengdu, not being used for anything. Stage 15.2.3 is where things start getting a little interesting. We have the highest cap for the stage now, so we can farm status. The 2 stages here don't have any bosses, but the last one has, so we can skip this last stage here and focus only on this first 2, because the weapon that drops from the last stage also drops from the stage number 15.2.2. Okay, here we have enemies weak against Sun, Heat, and Pierce. They are Undeads. We have lots of different strategies here. Let's talk about the first one. This one uses Rapier and Bow combined with a healer in the back. I'm using Deadly Pierce formation with my bow users getting more dexterity on slots number 2 and 3. And I have my Rapier users on slot number 1 and 4. Slot number 1 reduces the agility a lot, so get a very fast character here so it can compensate. About skill inheritance, let's talk about Monica. She can use Firecracker from her award version. I'm using the Christmas one. Yeah, because I want to start with Southern Cross. And if she fails to use Southern Cross on the next wave, she will use Firecracker. That's how I want her to do. Robin Girl has Rapid Volley fully awakened, and nothing else matters. Now for Ziling, it's just the same. They are a copy-paste of skills. For Robin, I have all skills fully awakened, but it only matters is Southern Cross and cutting Lunge, so that he always do good damage. And for Princess White Rose, we will be using Chocolate Ball. You can also fully awaken Mega Wing Blast if you want, but it's not needed. Well, we have 2 dragons weak against pierce damage on the front. We even got a combo this time. That is nice because of the combo. Christmas Monica will use Firecracker now. The problem is that the Vampire Lady is pretty fast. Well, she won't use anymore because they made her sleep. On this strategy, this may happen. But Princess White Rose can finish this. Well, last wave we have enemies weak against Sun, Heat, and Pierce. Even if someone dies, it's still okay. Whirlwind can hit a lot of characters here. Yes. So that was the first strategy. The second one is different. We use Rapid String to avoid Hypnosis. So in this strategy here, any character is enough to kill enemies, so it doesn't really matter the order of our attacks. But the inheritance is very important here. I'm using the original Fairy by inheriting Stardust Shot, so that she can use AoE attacks as well. Then there's Ziling here with Rapid Volley, Princess White Rose Chocolate Wall fully awakened. I also have Barthélemy. You can also bring the new Princess White Rose if you want, there's no problem. Barthélemy only uses Heat Wind. Abaddon Hands is increased, so he never uses it. And Blue has Storm Burst increased, so he never uses it. And I'm inheriting Heat Wave from his S style. Well, this time we probably won't be attacked. They are fast enough now with Rapid String. But they also do less damage, so let's check what will happen here. Ziling didn't attack, so she will use another attack on the second wave instead of Rapid Volley. One is stronger. Well, no Hypno dies this time, huh? Last wave, the Hell Dragon is fast, but I don't think he can beat Rapid String. Yeah. And everything just went fine with a single turn. And my third strategy for the stage is like the best one for you to bring trainees. You can bring 2 trainees here just fine. I am using the Rainbow Rangers formation. I am increasing the intelligence of Barthélemy, the STR of my Ellen, and the agility of my Blue. So, what do I have here to make this so strong? Ellen is starting with Mega Hawk. She can also just use Heavy Slash later, but Mega Hawk is what important. Doesn't really matter much the other skills. And I have Blue using Heat Wave as well. Storm Burst is on 11 so that he never uses. And Barthélemy is only using Heat Wind as well. This should work, but sometimes it will not be just one turn for everything. Okay, the thing here is that Ellen with Mega Hawk will just kill those dragons easily. Yes, she is strong enough. Can be any other slash or fierce damage dealer that can open with a very high attack. You don't really need Ellen, can be even Monica in the Dex slot instead of STR. You just have to bring a strong character to... Whoa, she was helpful here. We still clear it in a single turn. Because the strongest enemy in the middle, it's okay to bring a character that does single target besides the mages. But here we needed a new turn to finish. But we also opened 2 slots for trainees, so I believe this is still a very good formation. It's my favorite one, because I can change the frontline character. It does not need to be Ellen. I just have to keep training my Blue in Barthélemy. Another formation here that you can bring is Deadly Pierce with only bow users. So Sarah has only a single target attack and then she uses Rapid Volley on turn 3, but Claudia has an AoE attack and I usually don't want her to use on the start, on the first wave. Okay, so for the dragons, I hope that I don't need to use my Claudia. Let's see if it's enough or not. No, I had to use Claudia. And now we can just deal with this vampire lady. They are not so fast, so the enemies attack before us a lot of times. This is only if you want to train 4 bow users. Maybe you want, I don't know. Yeah, Princess White Rose also helps. So this was the last strategy part of the stage. Next stage is 15.2.4, and the enemies here are mostly weak against Blunt and Cold. So I have Subir and Teacher Yundin for Cold, and Blunt I bring Emilia and Fuse. They are recent characters, they have banners in December and January, so maybe you have them. Teacher Yundin is better than Narwhal's daughter here in my opinion, but you can also use her instead. The formation is Rainbow Rangers. I have Intelligence plus for Teacher Yundin, Dex plus for Fuse, Agility plus for Emilia, and STR plus for Subir. For Inheritance we have Subir Awakened skills number 1 and 2. Fuse only uses Submachine Gun instead of Proton Rocket. And Emilia has Random Shot on 7, Sweet Trap on 13. And Yundin inherits Squall, so it overrides Aqua Viper, and she can use Ice Javelins after that. Okay, let's see. Well, the problem on this stage is that we have 2 Scorpions as front enemies. They have very high agility. Well, the 2 characters were enough to kill this. So we are saving BP with Subir and Yundin. Let's see what will happen. Second wave, we have a lot of small enemies. They are very weak. The 2 Scorpions are the ones that you need to care about. Maybe use the Jagged Eyes here to kill those enemies. Last wave. Subir didn't attack, so you have my Maelstrom ready here. And it's a very powerful attack. Mine's still not awakened. Very, very powerful attack. But we still need a second turn to finish the Ant. The Ant is also not resistant against Death, so if you want to bring Death here, it also works. The second strategy is very similar to the first one, so I will not even run this. You just remove your mage and bring Flurry. He also works even though he does not have increased damage on Rainbow Ranger's formation. It still works because Flurry is a very good damage dealer for Blunt, or any other Blunt damage dealer you want. Now the strategy number 3 is very different, since he uses a lot of characters that are not exactly the ones you are expecting. So we have Fuse yet because, well, a lot of people summon it for Fuse. Then we have Cat and Azami because they are Blunt damage dealers. And I have the brothers here, Polkan and Liz, and I'll explain. I have Magical Shower formation with the brothers in the back. That's the reason for this. I want them to attack on the wave number 3. And I have Agility Plus for the 2 Martial Artists, and in the middle I have Fuse. Let's see if this works, but before, let's talk about Inheritance. Fuse is using Machine Gun instead of Proton Rocket. Cat is starting with Punishing Palm. It's overriding the Stomp. And Azami is also doing the same. She's using Punishing Palm and Inheritance Submission. Polka is fully awakened with skills number 1 and 3. That is the same for Liz. Okay, let's see. So there's just one problem here. My martial artists are still not too much to the cap. We are very far from it, actually. Well, we just killed the first wave with Azami and Fuse. I can't believe they used this. So Punishing Palm. We're still okay. But Fuse attacked. My Fuse didn't attack it yet, man. My mages have lower agility. Sometimes things doesn't make sense. Well, it's still okay because what matters is that you have to bring your mages to the last wave so they use their powerful attacks. Yes, and this is good for the last wave. Like you see, it's still working in the end. But it uses 5 specific characters, it's not that much of a good strategy. And I want to show a little variation of my past strategies. This time I have 2 new unique things. I have Award Claudia and Princess Ray. Award Claudia is on the Dex slot for Rainbow Rangers formation, and Princess Ray is in the Intelligence slot. I have all the skill awakenings from both. And for Award Claudia, I also have Assassin Arrow Inherited. That's the difference. Flurry is using, well, Seismic Strike. Here we didn't finish in 1 turn because it depends on the order of the attacks you get. But for the last wave, I'm bringing 2 characters that can insta-kill. Claudia and Princess Ray. But it depends, because we lost 1 turn, now she can use Terry Rain. Well, she paralyzed 1 enemy. That's bad because we wanted to try to use 2 death attacks against the Ant, because it has way too much HP. Yeah, but sometimes you kill the Ant, sometimes you would not. And now the last stage should not be farmed actually, because you can farm the weapon on stage number 15.2.2, but if you really want, what I'm using is a Tiger Break formation, Acelus in the front line, and in the back I have Polka and Blue. That is simply because I want them to have their powerful attacks to the end. Brilliant is also very powerful with Acelus in the front line. She gets 50% increase on her STR. This boss has a lot of HP, so you really want to kill this fast. Even if Blue uses his attack right now, it doesn't really matter that much. It's sad since we wanted to use this on the boss. But Essence also helps here since she decreases the intelligence of this boss, allowing for you to don't need to heal. We are using the White Rose for damage, not for healings. And also Blue and Polka are fire damage dealers. Heat Wave from Blue does a lot of damage here and decreases the agility from the boss as well. And Final Empress is the one that is healing here. Next time I think Polka will have scatter explosions and should be enough to kill the boss. Yes. Well, we visited 1 damage and Blue just finishes. So yeah guys, this is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope it can help you in any way doing strategies for this new episode. I tried to make it very compressed so we do not waste time. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by using any of the links here in the description. And please say something here. Click on the like button, subscribe if you haven't. We see each other on the next one. Bye.